What is the value of exploring the extraordinary realities?
Well, I guess it's the same value that attends the exploration of ordinary realities. There's an alchemical saying that one should read the oldest books, climb the highest mountains, and visit the broadest deserts. I think that being imposes some kind of obligation to find out what's going on. And since all primary information about what is going on comes through the senses, any drug or any compound which alters that sensory input has to be looked at very carefully. I've often made the point that chemically speaking, you can have a molecule which is completely inactive as a psychedelic, and you move a single atom on one of its rings, and suddenly it's a powerful psychedelic. Well, now it seems to me this is a perfect proof of the interpenetration of matter and mind. The movement of a single atom from one known position to another known position changes an experience from nothing to overwhelming. This means that mind and matter at the quantum mechanical level are all spun together. This means that in a sense, the term extraordinary reality is not correct if it implies a division of category from ordinary reality. It is simply there is more and more and more of reality, and some of it is inside our heads, and some of it is deployed out through three-dimensional Newtonian space.
Most of us, I think, just simply accept the everyday reality as the only one. And you're talking about journeys into the nether regions of which far beyond most people's conception or even wanting to conceive of such a reality.
Well, I think there's a shamanic temperament, which is a person who craves knowledge. Knowledge in the Greek sense of gnosis. In other words, knowledge not of the sort where you subscribe to Scientific American and it validates what you believe, but immediately, cosmology is constructed out of immediate experience that are found always to be applicable. You see, I don't believe that the world is made out of quarks or electromagnetic waves or stars or planets or any of these things. I believe the world is made out of language, and that this is the primary fact that has been overlooked. The construction of a flying saucer is not so much a dilemma of hardware as it is a poetic challenge. And people find it very hard to imagine exactly what I'm talking about. What I'm saying is that the leading edge of reality is mind, and mind is the primary substratum of being. We in the West have had it the wrong way around for over a millennia, but once this is clearly understood, with what we have learned in our little excursion through three-dimensional space and matter, we will create a new vision of humanity that will be a fusion of the East and the West.
Well, the world being made of language, and I think of these extraordinary realities which are totally beyond any language that we use in any ordinary sense.
Yes, well, they are beyond ordinary language. I always think of Philo-Judaeus writing on the Logos. He posed to himself the question, what would be a more perfect Logos? And then he answered saying, it would be a Logos which is not heard but beheld. And he imagined a form of communication where the ears would not be the primary receptors, but the eyes would be. A language where meaning was not constructed through a dictionary of little mouth noises, but actually three-dimensional objects were generated with a kind of hyperlanguage so that there was perfect understanding between people. And this may sound bizarre in ordinary reality, but these forms of synesthesia and synesthesic glossolalia are commonplace in psychedelic states.
Terence, could you identify Philos for us and tell us who he was?
He was an Alexandrine Jew of the 2nd century who made it his business to travel around the Hellenic world and discussed all the major cults and religious and cosmogonic theories of his day. So he's a major source of Hellenistic data for us.
How would you relate to Socrates' view of the world?
Well, I think that it's hard not to be a Platonist, but it's something perhaps we should struggle against, or at least struggle to modify. I think of myself as sort of a Whiteheadian Platonist. Certainly the central Platonic idea, which is the idea of the ideas, these archetypal forms which stand outside of time, is one which is confirmed by the psychedelic experience. And Plato's formulation of time as the moving image of eternity is another one of these aphorisms that the psychedelic state confirms. And certainly Neoplatonism, Plotinus and Porphyry and that school are psychedelic philosophers. Their idea of an ascending hierarchy of more and more rarefied states is a sophisticated presentation of the shamanic cosmology, which is the cosmology that one experientially discovers when they involve themselves with psychedelics.